Here, look at it. It's massive. The poor delivery guy struggled to get this in the door. It's not light. Put it that way. Right. Afternoon, everybody. This isn't a normal race vlog, as you could possibly tell. This is going to be a highly technical, highly informative sort of information video for anybody that's interested in the Elite Drivo. Alright, no, it's not going to be that. I'll be honest, this isn't going to be a Shane Miller type technical review. There will not be a single graph, a power chart or anything, mainly because I don't even understand Shane's one, so I'm not going to try and create my own. Obviously there are other similarities between myself and Shane Miller, obviously the svelte physique and hairstyle, but my technical knowledge doesn't stretch as far as his. So this is literally going to be me, like a kid at Christmas, open up my new toy, try and put it together without breaking anything, then I'll whack it on the bike. I'm planning 3 videos on this. No, I'm not. Two main videos. So this one will be an unboxing, setup, and just have a quick spin on Zwift. But then before the final race, our final league race on Saturday, I'm going to hopefully do an FTP and see where I am with this bad boy, because mine and plenty of other people's predictions are that I'm going to lose quite a lot of power now that this has now that I have something with a very accurate power meter, and obviously it can generate a lot more resistance. Anyway, so let's get on to what this is. Elite Drivo from Sigma Sport replaces my repaired and re-repaired, super glued, resoldered Tax Vortex. Let's get this bad boy open. Oh, that's interesting. I watched, just after ordering this, I watched videos, again, Mr. Shane Miller. I watched his review, and he said that you need to get yourself a skewer because it doesn't include one, but clearly they've listened to him, and there is now a skewer, so that's good news. I don't think there's a cassette, so I'm going to have to rip that off I'll rip that off my Specialized anyway. So, in the box, we've got a little tray at the top. I can see the unit poking through the top. We've got bag of goodies, which includes instruction book, a trainer test. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay, so there's like some specific training tests in there. That's quite good. Oh, 1 month free on Trainer Road. I might actually give that a go. I've never tried Trainer Road. Catalogue, lifetime subscription for My E-Training app from Elite. Cool. My E-Training virtual coach for smartphone and tablet. Blah, 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 blah. Another brochure. Another code for Bike Evo. This video training course will allow you to work. Okay, so it's another indoor training video course. Okay, so that's the paperwork. We have what's in there. That looks like that's going to be some different attachments depending on your axle setup. Allen key and spacers for the cassette. And like I say, I did get a skewer, so it's actually quite handy because that looks like a nice solid steel skewer. Power lead. I'll open these up while I'm taking them out, because obviously I will be using them in a minute. So power cord, and what I think in here will be the actual power adapter. Indeed it is. And then to the unit itself. So take this top tray off. It is a bit of a monster. Another box with something in it. What are these going to be? Alright, so I've got a cadence sensor, a USB stick. That really is handy for me, because I'm possibly getting somewhere with my with fixing my Vortex. And what would be really nice is if I can get that going, just actually having 2 trainers for a start, one as a backup, but also my eldest son is getting quite keen. Sorry, not my eldest, my second child, my youngest son, is actually getting quite keen on joining in on Zwift, and the only thing that stops us so far is that we don't have a second trainer. So if I can get the Vortex working, set him up an account, it will be really great for me and him to ride side by side, and I can inaugurate him into the WKG League at some point as well, which would be really good fun. Okay, so I've got the Elite Real software on a CD. Actually, I saw this on Shane's video as well. So I'm going to have to try and download that from somewhere, because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to use that disc for anything. But if I can get the software working, I'm actually really excited about this. This is the Alpe d'Huez Tour de France stage video, so I can give that a whirl on the trainer. So that'd be good fun. Bit more packaging. All right, let's get this monster out of here. God, and it is a monster. I mean that's probably 3 times the weight of my Vortex, I'd say. That is a big old beast. Like that, I suppose. Oh yeah, okay, and then that's going to lock in. Right, and what is left in the box? A couple of feet, and you rotate these basically, depending on which way round you put them, will determine which size wheel you're set up for. So obviously I want the road wheel, so that means that will go at the bottom there. Along with, that's why it's feeling a bit odd. That obviously needs to come out. There we go. So, was that the road? Let's have a look. Same again on this side. Oh, that is a monster. Right, so there it is. If you can see that properly, so I'm going to go and have a look. So that's the main unit. Obviously there was a bit of concern that it wasn't black, but it's not too bad. It's, you know, it's a bit 1990s desktop PC kind of colour, but it's not too bad. So anyway, yeah, the point I was trying to make about the about having this spare USB key is that obviously to have a second trainer I'd also need another USB key. So I suppose the next thing is I'm going to have to go and get the wheel off my Specialized and put the cassette on here. Now, I can't see. I don't think you even get a lock ring. So I'm assuming I'm just going to have to use the same one again that came with that's going to be on my bike. Yeah, there's no lock ring in here. I'm hoping, and again assuming, that it's a standard Shimano connection. Right, I'm going to go and get my bike. You know, I've realised I most definitely should have ordered at the same time as ordering this was some bar tape, because I've still got bare aluminium bars. Get the wheel off, get the cassette off, whack it on there. Probably do some tools, couldn't I? Tools. If you keep hearing a dinging in the background of this video, by the way, it's because I literally have just uploaded a photo to the Facebook group of this box arriving, and there's loads of comments flying through. So thank you for most of those comments, and for some of them who are basically just reaffirming my fears that I'm going to lose basically most of my FTP. That's what I say to you, even though you're probably right. I always forget, what's the best gear to put this in before you take a wheel off and on? Is it big? Smaller in front and back. Something like that. Right, I'm going to open myself up to a load of abuse here, aren't I? If I'm completely wrong, please someone tell me what I should be doing. It's the easiest way of getting my wheel in and out. And that seemed pretty easy to me, so. And let's get to work on removing this cassette. Should really give this a bit of a clean and a degreasing before I put it on, but I'll just get it straight on there. Oh god, this is facing the wrong way for you guys, really, haven't I? I'll turn this round so you can see me actually. You can actually see the side I'm working on. Okay, that's on. I'm going to wash my hands. I'll be back. Right, nice clean hands. Let's get this now roughly in a position where I can test it. Just put this wheel over here for now. I'll need a riser block, so I'll go and get the one from my Vortex. Riser block. Probably should have taken that out for a start and put one of these in. Alright, turn the bike back over again to put the skewer in. Okay, alright, I'm assuming I need something in there first as well. This is where maybe it is a good idea to read instructions. looks like it's that one. Yep, that slot's in there. So just to show you, you get a few different spacers for different axle types, and this one's the standard quick release. Slots into that there, and obviously your skewer goes through there, like so. Lovely. Right, let's try this again. Yeah, I'm sure you guys will have a much easier time of doing that than I do. I struggle even just putting wheels on and off the bike, so I don't know. I see these guys doing it in like 3 seconds. I've never known how that happens. But anyway, she's on. Next thing, alright, wash my hands again, and then let's get some power into her. Right, cadence sensor. Is that actually a requirement? I don't think it's a requirement. Are there any English instructions in here? Right, hang on. Oh, here we go. Quick guide. So this power box, it looks like it's got a kind of a little sort of snake sequence at the back that you can wrap the power cable through, so that it won't get ripped out by the kids' feet as they're running past. So hopefully that'll work. Let's put this up here for me. Oh, making noises. I've got a solid red light, which is the power light. I'll bring you down here. I've got a solid red light for power, and Bluetooth and Amp Plus are both flashing. Now I'm assuming that actually nothing will happen with that for a moment anyway, because I've not got my laptop on with any kind of Amp Plus sensor connected, so I think that's just searching for a signal. But there you go. This is what I was talking about with the cable. It snakes through here, so if you tug at that, it won't rip out. Here's the other side now with the cassette on. I've managed to get grease all over it, so I'm going to give that a wash off in a minute. So that's with the cassette fitted and the bike mounted. It's a big old sturdy unit, I have to say. Right, I'm going to wipe that grease off, because that's irritating me. I suppose that is a problem immediately with the white casing, is it is going to get grubby. I think I do need a riser block with this, don't I? Oh, I'm going to have to try and move it back a bit. That should do. I'll put a mat down underneath this. My wife will kill me if she's been doing it straight on the carpet. Oh, that's so smooth. Next step, I suppose, is just fire up Zwift to see if it automatically does its thing. So, I'll be back in a minute. Right, so I'm just firing up Zwift, hoping that everything will just auto detect and connect. Fingers crossed. Let's wait and see. I've not been especially lucky with trainers over the last few weeks, so I'm hoping for a nice surprise with this one. I should have put my heart rate monitor on as well, because I'm not convinced that there isn't some kind of correlation between my trainer not working and my heart rate monitor working. They seem to either one or the other will work, but not both at the same time. Still got 2 flashing lights on the back of the trainer, flashing Bluetooth, flashing Amp Plus. So let's wait and see when this does its little systems check. Right, it took a little bit of fiddling around. It didn't pair immediately, but I think that's actually to do with the USB ports on my Mac. I don't think I'm getting the greatest, most stable connection through Amp Plus at the moment. But just by a process of basically trying again, and Zwift actually crashed a couple of times as well, so it may even have been a problem with that. But I'm finally connected, so if I go out on track, we should, there we go, actually getting some power and some movement. So this is my first meters on the new Drivo. It feels so lovely and smooth compared to a wheel-on trainer, or certainly a Vortex. I can't speak for all wheel-on trainers, obviously. But right, I'm going to give it a proper test. I'm going to go and quickly change into some spandex, and I'll jump back on and see what it's like up those hills. I can already tell it's going to be hard work, but we love it. Thank you, Zoe. Zoe Collins, for the ride on. Right, yeah. So I'm gonna whiz off, get changed, and I think this camera angle's cutting my head off, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm gonna whiz off, get changed, and I'll be back in a moment. Right, okay, plug my proper microphone in as well and do a screen recording for this. I'm not going to do a full-on mad session, just a little gentle test. So, initial thoughts. First thing, and most noticeable thing from my point of view, is how smooth and quiet it is. It is a different planet to my Vortex. Now, I will qualify that by saying my Vortex I don't think was typical of most people's tax Vortexes at this point in time, because mine has been super glued, soldered, taken apart and rebuilt more times than I care to remember. So I don't think it was in the best of health anyway, even prior to its ultimate demise. So this isn't a like-for-like comparison with a brand new Drivo and a brand new Vortex, but obviously it is a straight jump from what I had to what I now have. I've kept this. I've kept it set at 75% realism as well, which is what obviously I ran on the Vortex. Again, I'm happy to fiddle around with that to try and get the best setup, but this is really just so I can make an immediate comparison with what I'm used to, and it feels bloody lovely. I've got to say, I'm not exactly putting out huge watts, but I'm literally just sort of warming up the legs and spinning up a little bit. Okay, I've done a little warm up, got the legs moving, and I've decided to jump over onto Watopia because, well, two reasons. One, I'm sick of the sight of that London course for the time being, and also I think Watopia's got a much better balance of sort of proving ground, so I can test out the KOM, and I'm interested in the speed of response over the S's as well. Now, I don't know whether the delay that I used to get from my Vortex in relation to the actual gradient shown on the screen is a Zwift issue or a Vortex issue, but I'm really hoping that this seems to react a lot more immediately to gradient changes than the Vortex did. But first test is going to be this KOM, which should be interesting. I've got to try and keep in mind that obviously I've not really managed to ride for a little while. I did feel pretty strong in the Richmond race that we did a little while ago, and that was the first and last ride I did, I think, since being ill. So I've got to try and keep that in mind, and if I'm really terrible, I don't want to beat myself up too much about it, but at the same time I am expecting this climb to be a bit of a struggle and a bit of a rude awakening. Obviously the Vortex capped out at 7%. This goes up to like 3,000%. Actually, I don't know. Is it 20? Something like that. Anyway, anything beyond 15 is going to be an absolute killer for me. So this should be interesting. I'm just keep it nice and smooth and gentle until we get to that KOM, and then I'll have a little go at attacking it. Hey, Mr. Inga Backman, Team Type 1. Thanks for the ride on, buddy. So anyway, I'm probably not going to talk for the next few minutes. I'm going to try and blast up this KOM. Alright, here we go. Right, immediately actually, I think there's possibly something wrong. It seemed to waver ever so slightly, and I checked my power figures back afterwards, but it seemed to be sort of tightening then easing all the way up that section. That's KOM done. Yeah, it felt tough, but like I say, I'm not sure everything was exactly right there. It seemed to be a little bit unsteady in the resistance that was being applied. I think that was Darren who just gave me a ride on. Thanks, buddy. So I'll get my breath back, and I'll try a bit of bit of a sprint. But I think I'm getting some kind of interference or something. I'm not entirely convinced that this is working how it should. I mean, pedalling feels lovely and smooth. This feels absolutely fine. But when the gradient really pitched up, it got really tight, then eased off very slightly, then really tight, then eased off very slightly. You can see on the screen, Zwift is really laggy today, which may be playing a part in why it just felt slightly uneven. Mr. Stephen, thank you buddy for the ride on. So, well, maybe that's me just wishful thinking, hoping that it's nothing to do with the trainer and hoping that the problem here is Zwift, but I mean all this has felt absolutely lovely, to be honest. Very smooth, very kind of real feeling, which is really what I wanted. But yeah, like I say, it's just on that steep incline. So, be interested to see when I get to the S's what happens. I'll give it a go on the sprint as well. See how that feels when I get out the saddle and try and ramp the power up a little bit. Oh, I can see how unfit I am. I'm sweating like a pig already. I did like a 5k warm up on London, very gently. So 4.5k on here, very gently, apart from obviously putting a bit of power in up the hill, up the climb. I am sweating. I've got the KOM jersey, the polka dot jersey, which is nice. I think there are about 5 times set so far. So that was never going to be that difficult. Hiya Megan, thanks very much for the ride on. It's good to see you. This is a bit of a test on my microphone as well, this video. I've put a little like a wind muffler thing over the microphone because it was really getting battered about by my fan on the last one, and I can't move the fan, it has to be there. But obviously I don't want that wind noise. I'm just thinking, and again this is me trying to convince myself that there wasn't anything wrong with the trainer, but is it possible it's to do with the inertia? Obviously my Vortex had literally 0 inertia, so if I, even halfway between a pedal stroke, I'd lose any kind of forward momentum. Now I'm wondering whether it's because this has got a nice big flywheel in it, whether what I was thinking was a kind of easing of the resistance, whether that was just to do with inertia as I was building up the power and the pace. I don't know, I might be barking up the wrong tree completely, but I'm just trying to shortlist what the possible reasons could be for that slightly strange feeling up that climb. Right, so we're coming up to the sprint. I will have a little blast at this, I think. Let's try and wind on a little bit of pace now. That's all I've got in my legs today. That felt good. Very responsive to my input. I think it's me that's letting the side down. Alright, there's another climb. I'm too tired to test this one out now. What is clear is I'll be using the gears a lot more now. See, that felt very smooth. I was able to hold pretty consistent power all the way up it. Alright, let's see how quickly the resistance kicks in and drops off. Okay, levelling out. Yeah, I can feel that slightly. Kicking up. Hey, thank you Carlos for the ride on. Yeah, there is definitely still a delay there, but I don't think it's as noticeable. Yeah, see that's easy. Yeah, do you know what? I think it's to do with inertia. Because I could feel it tighten up over that little bump. But the momentum carried from the downhill definitely helps me to get up and over it. So that's very interesting. My Vortex, like I say, if I let off the power, I stopped. Whereas this definitely
carries your momentum through into the climb after a descent. Does that make any sense at all? It does to me, because if I think in real life, if I power down a descent just before I hit a climb, the more speed I've managed to carry downwards, the further I go upwards before it starts to hurt, and that's what this feels like now. And I had nothing like that on the Vortex at all. Literally, it was like hitting a wall every time I hit a slope. And I'm not trying to kid myself that this is going to be easier, because clearly the Vortex would also only ever let me get to a maximum of 7%, and there's quite a few spots within Zwift where I'll be getting well over that. Well, not a very comprehensive test, mainly because I'm too unfit and knackered to really try it, but there were some interesting things, and the main thing is it works. I'm back in the game. Bring on Saturday's final league race, the crits all over, which has been confirmed actually. It's going to be 10 laps, Watopia volcano circuit counterclockwise, and 5 bonus points to the fastest individual lap time in each category. And also we've got it on a closed circuit, so there won't be any other riders that can interfere with either drafting or sticky drafts or anything like that. So should be good. And the way the league is poised, I am mega excited. I'm excited obviously to ride it again now. Haven't been out for a while, but I'm equally excited about just watching it. Okay, so 1 lap of Watopia. Managed to learn a bit, not an awful lot, but that's all I've got in me today. I'm going to have to ease my way back into this before Saturday. Obviously got the 2 for 1 on Thursday, which is looking now like I can finally actually lead one of those without having to palm it off on somebody else. And then the league race. So, alright, there you go. First impressions, very smooth, very smooth. It feels so much more like riding a bike than my Vortex did. Much quieter. I know it's not as quiet as a Neo, and possibly not even the latest kickers, but again, I'm comparing it to what I've been used to, and this is like whisper quiet. It's lovely. Yeah, all in all, really like it. Only problems I've had is obviously took a while to connect to Zwift, but that seemed to be just the first time, because I've been out of the game and back in again, and it connected instantly. And just a slight strange feeling with when it got really steep. It's like I said, it's just a slight sort of wavering in the feel of the resistance. But again, I'm the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking that could be down to the flywheel, and me just having to adapt. So I'm used to stamping on the pedals on those climbs with the Vortex, because like I say, you couldn't ease off for a second. You had to just keep pushing. And this, obviously, if you keep on pushing, and just as I'm talking, Mr. Jim Pocock, one of my main rivals for 4th place in the league on Saturday. Yeah, on this, I think if I just keep pushing, it actually is building up momentum, not just sort of carrying me on at the same rate. Maybe anyone with half a scientific brain will be able to tell me that is absolute nonsense. But all in all, very, very pleased. And I'm looking forward to now actually having the legs to go with my trainer. So, right, I'm going to sign off, get myself dried off, and I don't know, I might jump back on again this evening, have another little play around if I'm feeling fresh again. But that was a little bit of an eye-opener how unfit I really am, because that was tough. But anyway, catch you in a bit.